Hello everyone. Here we will see how to read and write primitive data in a file using the byte stream classes in Java. Output to binary files. To write onto our file, first we have to create an object of the file class and then assign a file name to the object. Now, to write primitive data onto binary files, we have to follow the following step. Step 1. Create the file output stream object and connect it with the file object. Step 2. Data output stream class, which is used to write primitive data types, is connected with the file output stream object. We create an object of the data output stream and connect it with the file output stream object. Step 3. We use the write method to write data in the byte format on the file. Step 4. Finally, we close all the stream objects using the close method. Now let us look at an example which will make the steps more clearer to you. We have written a program where we are inputting 10 primitive integer numbers onto a binary file. So we are opening the BlueJ software. See, I have already written the program under the class W primitive. So I'm opening the program and we will discuss the steps that we have learned from the previous page. So I have imported the IO under void main C file in file. This statement is creating an object of the file class and assigning it a file name number.dat. So the file is under the drive F drive under the folder school files. Next, file output stream object fout has been created and it is being connected with the file object in file. This is the first step of the previous page. Now step number 2, data output stream ffout. This is the object of the data output stream which is connected to fout. Fout is an object of the file output stream. This is step 2 from the previous page. Now input stream reader and buffered reader. These are used to input the data from the keyboard. So we have a loop where we are inputting 10 primitive integer type data. See, n is equal to integer.parseIn dot readline. So we are inputting 10 integer numbers from the keyboard. ffout.write int n. This is the method to write onto the file. Finally, we are closing all the stream objects. ffout.close. We are closing all the stream objects. Now compile the program. We'll see that there are no syntax error. So once we run the program, we are running the program now. So once we run the program and input 10 integer numbers, see, I'm inputting 10 integer numbers. Any numbers you can insert. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. So 10 integer numbers I will input. I will be using one more program to show the data that I have inputted onto the file. Now let us check the file that we have created. The file that we have created was under the F drive. So I'm opening File Explorer. I'm opening the F drive. Under F drive there was a folder school files. So under F drive I'm searching for school files. See, school files. Yes, I got the folder. Click on it. I'm opening it. See, number.dat is the file that we have created. I cannot open the file here because it's a binary file. So we will write one more program in Java to read whatever is written onto the file. We will read it and the output will be coming onto the BlueJ screen, terminal window. Input to binary files. We need to follow some basic steps to read from an already existing binary file. Step 1. To read a binary file, we have to create a file input stream object and connect it to an already existing binary file. Step 2. To read the primitive data types from file input stream, we connect it with data input stream object. Step 3. Now we can use the read method to read data from the data input stream objects. And step 4. After the reading is done, after reading the file is completed, the input streams gets closed. So now again let us look at the example to understand these steps better. Here we will see a program which will read the primitive data from an already existing binary file and display it onto the terminal window of BlueJ. We have already created a binary file number.dat in our previous program which has stored 10 primitive data. Here we will see a program that will read those data from the existing file number.dat and display it on the terminal window of BlueJ. So we are opening the BlueJ software. We will see the program and try to relate to the steps discussed in the previous page. See, I have already created the class rPrimitive. The program to read data from binary file has already been written. So let us try to relate to the steps. So rPrimitive is the class name. Under the main function, we have file in file. In file is the object of the file class which is pointing to the already existing file number.dat. See, the full path of the file has been given so that we can locate the file easily. Now step 1 of the previous page. File input stream FIN. FIN is the object of the file input stream which is pointing to infile, the object which is pointing to the already existing file. Next is step 2 of the previous page where data input stream FFIN. FFIN is the object of the data input stream which is used to read data from the which is used to read primitive data, and data input stream is pointing to the file stream object fin. Now we are displaying the data. So there were 10 data, so the for loop is running till 10. Now n is equal to FFIN read int. This is step 3 discussed in the previous page. This is the read int. This method is reading the data from the file and storing it in n. Next line system.out.println n. So n, the read data is being displayed onto the terminal window of BlueJ. And finally step 4 FFIN.close. We are closing the data input stream object. Now we are compiling the program. See, there are no syntax error. So we will run the program now. The program should display the numbers that we have inputted in the number.dat file. See, the numbers that we have inserted in the number.dat file has been displayed on the terminal window. So it has read the numbers from the file and displayed it on the terminal window of BlueJ. Now let us quickly revise the steps for writing and reading primitive data onto a binary file using the Byte stream classes. Step 1. We have to create the file object which points to a file. It points to a new file if we are writing something onto the file, or it points to an existing file if we are reading from a file. Step 2. We create the file output stream object in case of writing to a file, or the file input stream object in case of reading from a file, and connect it with the file object. Step 3. To write or read primitive data, we have to create the data output stream object or the data input stream object respectively and connect it with the file output stream or the file input stream object respectively. Step 4, we have to use the write method to write the data onto the file or the read method to read the data from an existing file. Step 5, finally, we have to close all the objects with the close method. Hope the topics were clear to you. Thank you.